YouTube has been around for nearly 20 years, but who was one of the first big hits? Well, this is Ray William Johnson, born in the Unk days of August 14th, 1981 in Oklahoma. Mr. Johnson started his real channel in May 2008 and has since then been seen as one of the legends of YouTube. His early goals was originally to get a Juris Doctor degree from Columbia University School of General Studies, where he studied history, but he never really finished. Around the same time, he started another YouTube channel that has sadly gotten deleted today, but he used to post video blogs to only 30 people at the time. And then he came over to his current channel. Now, his first video on his current channel was posted in April 2009. And from there on out, he became one of the best YouTubers out there. And around 2 years later, his channel became the first channel in all of the YouTube history to reach 5 million subscribers and 2 billion views. Which, if you ask me about that shit, has to be crazy, okay? Getting 2 billion views, I will probably never see that amount in my life, but you know what? It's still crazy. And while doing all of this, he had a series on his channel named Equals 3, which is basically a comedy show where he reacted and commented on videos. And to me, it seems like a lot of people actually like that series, and that's why it was going on for so long. More on that later. And it's also on this series, Equals 3, where he reacted to his first Moist Critical video and basically changed Charlie's life for the better and forever. And while being at his peak, having a great life, in 2011, at his peak, he signed a deal with Maker Studios to boost his Equals 3 series. So he moved from his apartment in New York to Culver City in California, where they helped him produce his videos in a much higher quality and better way. And while doing all of this, he made a Spanish version of Equals 3, which was called Igual a Tres, which is basically Equals 3, but you get the point. And he didn't want to stop there. He just kept going. And while doing that, he had a side channel where he made comedic animated music videos. It was called Your Favorite Martian, where he released around 60 songs up till now. And with his big success on Equals 3, it made him the most subscribed channel for around a year and a half between 2011 and 2013. And now, while he had some crazy success, I'm not gonna lie, very jealous of that guy, by the way, everything good has to come to an end. So on October 2012, he had to leave Maker Studios due to some contract disputes, being that he basically has limited access to his AdSense account, which, I mean, if you sign a contract with a studio or a production company, then you kind of have to expect that. But, well, still, I mean, he could have probably done just as good without Maker Studios. And also, he would have lost 40% of earnings and 50% of intellectual property rights on both Equals 3 and the Your Favorite Martian channel. He left Maker Studios, which was a really good choice, by the way, and he founded his own production studio. And you can probably guess what this studio is called. In November 2012, he founded Equals 3 Studios. Now, that's a peak name, because that's the name of his, you get the point. And sadly, as I said before, all good things has to come to an end. And that's where he ended Your Favorite Martian. But further on, he also kind of revived it sometimes where he released some new songs every now and then. Now, by 2013, Equals 3, or the Ray William Johnson channel, had reached 2.6 billion views and 10 million subscribers. That's probably a number I will never even see in my life. Like, whoa, that's crazy in my opinion. And again, he had to start a new series. That's Ray William Johnson. All of his things is based on series, okay? He started another series called Riley Rewind, which was basically about a teen with time-shifting powers. And all of it premiered on Facebook with 5 parts and 50 minutes in total, if I'm not wrong. And he officially had to end the Equals 3 series with his final video titled Thank You for Everything. I mean, honestly, if he maybe could have used it up until now, I think he would have done well. I mean, honestly, if you do the same thing for too long, it gets boring because YouTube evolves every single year and every single day. So, it's getting different. So he maybe did make a right choice there. And he started a multiple amount of series this time in 2015. Booze Lightyear, which was a sketch comedy, and then Top 6, which was a list style show, and comedians on a comedic discussion show. This guy loved series. Now, around this time, he did make a lot of series, like a lot, a lot. I actually don't know every single one, and I couldn't find every single one. And naming all of them would probably hurt your attention span even more. Now, just a reminder, up till now, he had been nearly a decade on YouTube. He had released 60 songs with Your Favorite Martian, and occasionally revived the music channel here and there. Now let's forward a bit to the Corona times. Okay, that was goofy as fuck. In 2020, he started a new series called Superhuman, and also revived Your Favorite Martian with a song called Orphan Tears Part 2. And now the Ray William Johnson we see today is a lot more different than the Ray William Johnson you saw a decade ago. Nowadays, he shares true crime stories on TikTok and YouTube, which to me, it seems like he's making more success than I'll ever be able to make. He's a crazy hardworking man, by the way. And honestly, over time, he just didn't want to be in the spotlight anymore, which that is acceptable because, I mean, being on YouTube for nearly more than a decade and a half, that's really crazy. Like, that's basically a really large amount of his life. And now, you guys might be wondering, what is he doing outside of YouTube? Well, he got married to Kelly Farrell in 2022 and is now living a good life and still married. He doesn't have any kids though, which is his choice. Now, my own experience on him. Look, I discovered him when he started doing his true crime stories. So I really haven't been tapped in with this guy. But, over time I realized no one's really talking about him anymore. It's just so empty in people's minds that probably one of the most OG YouTubers is gone from people's minds. And to me, that's just sad because I feel like he's a legend, obviously. And the YouTube algorithm, all of this stuff is evolving over time. So I think eventually people forget about Moist or about maybe about, the guys that left FaZe in a decade or something. But sometimes you gotta remind people where everything started, and that's what I'm doing. But yeah, guys, I just want to hop on here, talk about this very OG of a YouTuber, and low-key respect to this guy. True crime stories has saved my attention span because I've stayed more longer on his videos than on my own. So yeah, I appreciate that, Ray. All right, have a good one.